So we're joined today by Lucy Wood, who is Head of Music at the Roundhouse, and she's here to tell us about her career and how it's progressed since school and university. So could you tell us how you engaged with music at school, college and university?
I've always been a music fan, so probably from school onwards, I listened to a lot of music at home and out with friends, and I also went to as many gigs as I could get into, given age restrictions at school. But at uni and college, I went to see as many shows as I could.
Okay, and is there anything you did in the music industry in terms of work, part-time, whilst you were studying?
I started working at a record label in the mail order department as a kind of part-time, occasional job, wrapping records up in cardboard and tape and sticking postage labels on them. And I did that sort of on and off for about a year, which then led on to more work with that same label. Oh, and I did flyering as well at one point.
Very good. So how did those initial jobs lead to a full-time role, and how has your career progressed since then up to your current position?
So the label that I was working for, I did some work experience in their main office. So outside of the mail order office, in their kind of main label offices in America. And after a few months of that became a kind of a fully paid proper job, which ended up lasting for a couple of years. And after that, I came back to the UK and worked at a management company for someone I'd met when I was in America. They worked for this management company. And then from there, my next job was working for a promoter who had been someone I'd been working in the packing room with at the label. So from there onwards, I was at the promoter's promotion company for 7 years and sort of took it from this really small, I was this guy's first employee, and we took it from a kind of bedroom operation into like a proper business that had 1.7 employees. And while I was there, kind of developed this network of contacts with agents and labels and other promoters. And from there, trying a few other things in between, I ended up working as the music booker for Latitude Festival. And then from there to the Roundhouse, where I'm currently head of music.
Excellent. So in terms of getting started, what do you think the single best thing is for students to be doing to establish in the industry whilst they're still at school, college or university?
Single best thing is tricky.
A few things.
A few things. Okay, I would say one really important thing to do is to say yes to all sorts of opportunities, even if you can't see a direct link from that to what your kind of ultimate goal is. I think trying stuff out, saying yes to stuff, you meet lots of people, you get a sense of what you're good at and what you enjoy doing, and more importantly, what you don't like doing. And it's really great. Like even, doing the door or at an event or flyering or anything. Yeah, I think there's all sorts of different routes in. And so trying a few things out is really good. And then I would also say, if you do a lot of, listen to as much music as you possibly can, keep on top of new music that's coming out, really develop that kind of music knowledge, because that's really valuable in the industry in a whole range of different sectors within it. So I would say really build that knowledge and kind of hold on to it and keep fluent in it, like kind of keep it up to date. And also I would say, if you have the opportunity to organize things yourself, like your own gigs or your own live streams, or put your own records out or similar, I think those are really good things to do. So things that kind of help you build your own your own network of contacts and your own experience. I think that kind of, yeah, it's a really useful experience if you can.
Okay, and could you tell us what helps people to stand out when they're looking for work in the music industry? So when someone is applying for a role or looking for work somewhere else, what would you advise they do when they're approaching companies?
I would say the single most important thing is to be nice and friendly. I would say it opens a lot of doors. I think back on my career, and I think probably a large number of the things I've ended up being able to do were in large part because I'm someone who's nice to be around, and I'm you know, I help people, and I'm kind, and I'm, you know, a good member of a team. And I think yeah, and if you're not nice, yeah, it's people talk and have memories of it. And I think it's, yeah, whilst there is a sort of older generation of kind of pushy unpleasant bullies maybe at the top of the industry, I think their day is coming, and gradually this sort of level of a kind of younger generation who've kind of built their positions on getting on with each other. I think that's really important. Okay,
and do you have any practical tips on putting together a CV or a resume?
Keep it short, I would say. I would, if I ever get sent things, I really appreciate it when they're sort of 1 or at most 2 pages. So really highlight your most relevant experience. Yeah, I would say anything that sort of emphasizes your passion for music is really important. So that could be, you know, talking about how you go to lots of shows, or how you never stop listening to music, or something, yeah, something along those lines. Make that really clear.
Okay, and a lot of music industry jobs are not advertised publicly. So how can we find out about those opportunities? Kind of network to find out about those?
It's tricky, I would say. Yeah, it is. It's probably useful to have, you know, develop relationships with people as widely as you can, and maybe the odd email, prospective email to a company that's just a few sentences sort of saying, hello, I'd love to know more about your company, and, you know, here's my CV. It's kind of maybe enough, because sometimes you could be sending that thing at the right time, and you know, the right person could be receiving it, I would say. But yeah, anything that gets you in a position of being able to kind of hear about those jobs, even if they're not widely advertised. So that could be flyering, or doing the door, or striking up a conversation with a band's manager at a show, or, you know, anything that kind of gets you known to the people in the industry, and any part of the industry, I think is really useful. In fact, maybe aim for, if you're thinking about agents or promoters or managers, aim for the kind of juniors within those agencies, because they usually have more time and they are closer to the experience that you're having. They'll kind of understand what it used to be like, and will have more time to be able to kind of help you and advise you, and hopefully have a conversation with you.
Oh, good advice. So just to finish off, could you tell us what you enjoy most about your current role, and any other career highlights?
I would say my current role, I mean, I'm so proud of the work the Roundhouse does. I'm really happy to say that we're still doing lots of our projects for young people online, and looking forward to opening up our studios again, which is really brilliant. And then I'm really looking forward to actually having live shows there again in the not too distant future. And then I would say kind of career highlights prior to joining the Roundhouse. There is really nothing like seeing a huge crowd ecstatically happy and singing along to, you know, one of their favourite bands. There's just no kind of comparison for how thrilling that feels to know that all of those people are really overjoyed, in part thanks to some of the work you've done in kind of getting it together.
Brilliant. Well, thank you for all your advice.
Thank you.